Hey, gang, well, it's official. Joe Biden, that REM sleep inducing politician, has won the Democratic nomination and has earned the right to take on Donald J. Trump this November to be the next president of the United States. Yes, indeed, it's going to be dog-faced pony soldiers against losers. At any rate, a couple assholes are going to try to be the next president. That's an awesome thing. I can't wait to see it. But talking about Joe Biden real quick, I was watching a couple of his speeches, and I saw an interview on the Joe Scarborough show, Morning Joe or whatever, and it dawned on me that Biden's entire campaign can be boiled down to three little words. I'm not him. Yep, that's right. The entire premise of Joe's campaign revolves around the idea that Trump is a bad guy and the children are watching. Completely absent from Joe's interview and every speech I've seen so far is, well, policy. Not once has Joe specifically said, this is what Trump is doing wrong, and this is what I'm going to do differently. Nope, policy is absent, and Joe is banking on the fact Trump is not a nice guy to win his return to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I actually think that's a brilliant strategy. But where have I seen this before? That's right, the self-anointed Hillary Rodham Clinton used the same playbook in 2016, and Joe is coming back to disturb the peace, or put it to sleep, with this mundane, nonsensical, ineffective, and of course proven to be a failure model to go against Donald Trump. Joe has decided to play no offense, and he's going to let Trump run all the plays, hoping that Donald Trump runs one play just bad enough to where enough people give Joe the thumbs up. Imagine Trump and Biden playing a football game. Trump gets the ball and runs every play in his playbook. He attacks the defense at their weakest point, and if a ref calls a penalty on Trump, Trump just screams at the ref, calling him a fake ref, and ignores the penalty while he keeps on moving down the field. Joe gets the ball and punts it on first down. And that's the model the Democratic National Committee brings us. Can we call this wisdom, hubris, arrogance, stupidity? Whatever the case, putting Joe Biden into this role is political malpractice. Because for as horrible as Hillary Clinton was as a candidate, she could at least formulate coherent sentences and had some mettle. Remember the Republicans grilling her during the Benghazi hearings? She was actually pretty decent there. Imagine Joe in a similar situation. 10, 11 hours of tough questions. He'd forget his name, piss his pants, and talk about how Corn Pop and he marched in Selma in 1926. Basically, Joe is unhinged, forgets shit, and lies about most of it. Though in the sake of fairness, I do think Corn Pop is a real dude, amazingly enough. But that story Joe told about Corn Pop was totally cringeworthy. In essence, Joe Biden is a certifiable gaffe machine.
I got to get this right.
And why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. And no one has ever said that.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it.
If you want to check my shape on it, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
It is important that Iowa and Nevada have spoken, but look.
Get your words straight, Jack.
I'm Jill Biden's husband, and I work for Cedric Richmond. Are you joking? No.
Granddaughters not only love their dads, their grandpops, they always like them, and that's the great thing. Thank you, baby. Thanks. I want you to meet Finnegan.
And meanwhile, while Biden is doing that, Trump is already dusting off some new material.
Now, Sleepy Joe would say The unemployment rate in the great state of Ohio. No, you're in South Carolina. Joe, you're in South. They come up and you ever see the guy in the note? No, it's South Carolina. It's not Ohio. Okay. Then he goes, all right, Iowa? Did you say Iowa? No. He did that like 7 times.
And that, my friends, is just the beginning of what Donald Trump is going to unleash against sleepy Joe Biden. It's going to get more numerous, more aggressive, and Donald Trump has the money to bring this anti-Joe comedic routine to the campaign trail in 2020. So strap it in.
They would love to see a guy like Sleepy Joe Biden, who has no clue what the hell he's doing. They'd say to Sleepy Joe, sir, just sign right there. Oh, okay. I'll sign.
Imagine that for 2 months, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The same media tools that covered for Joe Biden, such as CNN and MSNBC, who would attack any candidate who would dare question the infallibility of Joe Biden during the Democratic primaries, that same media is not going to be able to cover for him this time. And if they try to against Trump, guess what Trump's going to do? He's going to tell them to go pound sand, and he's going to use that cover to prove his narrative of fake news. Forget for a minute that Trump himself is part of his own fake news accoutrement. The reason he only goes on Fox and Friends and Hannity is so he can disseminate his own brand of fake news. But the first time CNN or MSNBC dares to attack Trump being mean because he's questioned Biden's mental faculties or his record, well, Trump's going to just use that to prove the narrative of fake news. And it's going to stick because it's truthful. So the fact of the matter is, Biden won't be able to run from this. He's not going to get cover from the media. He's going to have to go with and at Trump head on head. We can blame the Democratic establishment for this. The same party that nominates these empty suit corporatists like Joe Biden, who won't even go after Trump on policy during the campaign, won't even advance their own stated agenda. This is the same party who spent the last 4 years wasting our time in Russiagate, wasting our time with impeachment instead of bringing up actual policies that we could discuss. This is the party that's asking you to vote for the lesser of two evils. And it wouldn't be the Democratic Party in 2020 unless there was some good old-fashioned identity politics on the table. Biden has already come out and said he's going to take a woman as his vice president. He didn't say he wants the most qualified, a woman. Now, if the most qualified happens to be a woman, that's awesome. But to immediately wipe out half your candidates before you've even given job interviews for the position, that's the same type of discrimination you blame Republicans for. I got it. It's a good strategy. You're not Trump, plus you're a woman. How about you're not Trump, plus you're a black woman? How about a black lesbian woman with Latino or Native American blood? This vanilla I'm not him campaign Biden is sure to run is going to inspire no one, while the Republican Party is going to roll out Dancing Jesus, followed by the fetus drill team. Fox News will be on the job during this election cycle and may even bring back George W. Bush from flying important missions against gay Teletubbies. The presidential bicycle will be in wait for him. And after Jesus of Nazareth speaks, the Republican base will be fired up, riled up, and guess what, guys? Ready to vote. So what are the Democrats going to do in response to this energetic Republican Party? Actually, I know what they're going to do, what they always do. They're going to put lipstick on the proverbial pig. Do we really think Joe Biden is going to bring the requisite energy to counter the Republicans? I think not. Yes, the Democratic establishment could give two shits about the energy in their party, their base, and usually deride and marginalize them. And I know the Democratic Party's establishment doesn't really want to go after that voting base. Instead, they want to go after suburban moms, even moderates. But will this Joe Mentum inspiration get the non-voting slob off his couch to vote? Anyway, good luck, corporate Dems. I know you're on your way to another rousing victory in 2020. You paragons of virtue who always oppose Republicans until it's time to start advancing economic policy. Yeah, you're not any damn different than the Republicans when it comes to economics. If you were, we wouldn't have had Donald Trump in 2016. And as far as this election, it's going to take a lot more than I'm not him to win this election. 2016 should have told you that.